In 1919, he hit 29 home runs and was sold to the New York Yankees.
A three-run home run for Buffington. The Yankees now lead it by a score of 3-2. Bill Lee is now going over to a couple of the Yankees, and there they go again.
One hits it to deep left. That might send the Yankees to the World Series.
Varitek and A-Rod going at it. Roberts is going. Posada's throw. Roberts safe.
What can I say? Just tip my hat and call the Yankees my daddies.
Welcome to Fanbase, a deep dive into the greatest rivalry in sports, episode 235. I'm Brian Shackman along with John Senecal. Obviously, we're, about 15 games into the season or so as we record here, entering another week of the season. The Yankees have lost 5 straight. The Red Sox aren't on some big streak, but they won 2 in a row, and they're suddenly not the worst team on the planet. And so I can't say their team's going in 2 different directions because the Yankees are still tied for first and the Red Sox are still in last, although only 2 games as of Monday separate them, which means that the Red Sox season actually isn't entirely lost in a week. Before we get to the teams, John, my statement and just looking at things, I mean, as of Monday, there's only 3 teams with double-digit wins, none in the American League. And I would argue that the Padres and the Braves, that maybe the Dodgers are the only truly, really separating team, and that everyone else is kind of in the same boat. I mean, I feel like parity. I think the fact that, all last teams, even the friggin' Rockies have 6 wins, right? No one's going on to lose at this pace 120 games.
Right.
That maybe just there's a lot of mediocrity in baseball.
There is, and when you look, like you said, you look across the leaders in all the categories. The Dodgers are leading in all the team categories, of course, including wins. But it's interesting that a week ago, Brian, we sat here and it was like a 5-game lead the Yankees had on pretty much everybody, including the Red Sox, and now they're tied with the Orioles and the Rays after coming off getting swept by the Rays.
What the heck? What's going on? I mean, I don't pay enough attention to the Yankees.
They're just not hitting, right? Plain and simple, they're not hitting. I mean, they're just flat out awful at hitting. I mean, Judge is batting 218 or something like that. The team's batting 205. They're third worst in Major League Baseball in average.
You can't say it's cold weather either because they've been in Florida this past weekend.
No, it's not cold weather. It's just, I mean, let's be honest. If the way Judge goes, the way the team goes, right? But if you don't have players other than, Ben Rice is up leading in different categories, but at the same time, he hasn't done much lately. The whole team is just garbage. So what do you expect if Judge isn't hitting, someone's going to have to pick it up. And when nobody's picking it up, it's a debacle. Well, the crazy thing is, Brian, when you think about how bad the Yankees have played and that they're still tied, right? But of all their losses, they've only lost 1 game by more than 1 run. And that was by 2 runs. That was the first game of the Tampa series. So it's not like they're getting blown out.
No, it's because their pitching is so good.
Exactly. But again, they're not scoring runs, but there is hope there, right? Because they're still tied and they've been playing like crap. So they really can't play much worse. The thing is what they need to do is they need to figure out, are you going to hope and keep hoping that the rest of the division keeps playing like crap? Because you're going to be playing the Red Sox in a week, right? So that's going to be their first head-to-head matchup other than the Rays. So you need to figure it out. Are you going to stick with this crappy lineup you keep doling out there? And I say lineup. We all know Boone puts out a different lineup, but it's the same cast of characters, right? It's the same.
What do you do? What would you do?
Well, first of all, you got to sit McMahon. Volpe should be coming back. He's going to start a rehab assignment. I can't believe I'm saying that Anthony Volpe is going to so-called early on save your season, but that could be the spark you need because he'll come in. He's going to play shortstop, Boone says. Now, he's probably at least a week away from coming back, but that is something to look forward to and something that hopefully will spark the Yankees, and you could probably move Rosario into third base, sit McMahon, or just release him. I mean, he's garbage. I don't know what else you can say. We keep saying he's garbage. You're not going to get anywhere with the bottom 3 of your order batting under 100 and doing nothing.
I'm curious, what is his salary?
Who, Ryan McMahon?
Yeah.
Oh, it can't be more than $8 million, I'd imagine. $7 million or something like that.
It's 12. It's 16. He's getting $16
million.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. You know what? He's probably on the back end of a deal he signed with Colorado. That
he's under contract for next year, too.
Probably at 16, right? Mm-hmm. So the Yankees could not they're going to eat that money or they're going to eat a big portion of the money. Nobody's going to take $16 million.
I mean, you argue that he's not a major league player. That's your argument.
Yes. I mean, what has he done outside of Colorado?
Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Former yard goat, so I hold on.
The sample
dearly.
size is there. The sample size is there. You need to make a change. Now, what you also need to make a change is you need to get Jason Dominguez in the major leagues. You got to figure it out. You have to figure it out. You're going to have to eat his defense a couple games a week, or you're going to have to sit Stanton a couple games a week and not DH him. He has been playing an awful lot and maybe already starting to show because he's slacking off in his offense. But you cannot have a guy who should be in the major leagues hitting, and he can hit. He's proven it since the day he started in the major leagues. He is more than a 250 hitter, and that is fine in Major League Baseball, right? Especially on the Yankees.
Yep. My only thing is that they're holding opponents to less than 3 runs a game. They should be better than 1 game over.
And your
500.
pitching is not going to keep doing that, and you've seen that, right?
That's my point. They're sort of squandering. I mean, they should be in much better position.
This is the time the Yankees
are.
should have a 9-game lead right now.
I don't know about that.
Well, Brian, if you think about it, they've lost all these games by 1 run. I mean, you can't tell me you couldn't have turned 5 of those losses back.
Well, I would just say 2 or 3. And
well, exactly. I mean, it's baffling that you can sit there and watch this happen and not do anything about it and do the old ride it out mentality. It's like I'm tired of the ride it out mentality.
You got any more?
Well, it'd be nice to hear what you have to say about the Red Sox. I mean, the Red Sox aren't great, right? Neither of these teams have been playing awesome opponents. Let's be honest. They haven't been playing crazy opponents. They played the Padres, the Red Sox, but other than that, they haven't played anybody great.
Well, no. I mean, the Cardinals, they beat them 2 out of 3, and the Cardinals were over 500. But, I mean, listen, I can go outside of Wilyer Abreu and Contreras. Even though they got, Story got 4 hits on Sunday, and he's still batting 182.
Because he just started off so bad.
So you have Marcelo Meyer is batting 200. You got Roman Anthony batting 200. You got Caleb Durbin batting 106. You got Jaron Duran batting 196.
And no power. Absolutely no power on the team.
Which is bizarre. And so we're not going to get into this whole Bregman crap. I'm not going to be lazy and have that argument. My point is, though, that if these guys, I mean, maybe Anthony's tired from the World Baseball Classic.
A lot of people are saying he's got something wrong with his arms. He's got the noodle arm, and he's throwing the rag arm from left. And hey, listen,
that has nothing to do with hitting, though. I mean,
well, it does obviously. If it's his arm, like what happened to Anthony Volpe? I mean, he fell apart when he made that one bad diving play, and they ignored that all season.
Yeah, but they can DH Anthony in a bunch of different spots. I don't know. I just think that for them to win consistently, they need more people. Like the Yankees, as you said, as Judge goes, the Yankees go. And then if he's on fire, then that gets more good pitches for other hitters, right, or whatever. But the Red Sox need, of those 4 I mentioned, 2 of them have to be hitting over 250 with some power. I mean, Duran and Anthony especially, I think, are hugely important. Story, I think he'll come around. He'll be fine. I think he's just such
Story's
a pro.
Gonna be, as long as Story is healthy, he's going to hit 250, 260. He'll be fine. He just needs to stay healthy. My big thing, I would think, for the Red Sox fans early on who should be concerned about is obviously Roman Anthony, because he was hurt last year. He had issues, and he hasn't done anything, right? I mean, what has he done? Nothing. And apparently he's got, like you said, the throwing issue. So, granted, he's 21, 22? He's not going to tell you he's hurt. The only way he's coming out of the game is if he can't physically play.
I don't buy that, because these guys and these teams are so all over their business. Like, if they thought, forget about a question and answer from a team doctor. If he sneezed wrong, they'd give him an MRI. So I'm not buying that. If something's wrong, if he can fool the team into thinking he's okay when he's not, then that's the team's fault for being morons.
Well, I just don't understand. Obviously this stuff slips through the cracks. We watched it with Anthony Volpe last year. Like, he played the whole freaking season basically from the end of May, hurt. And he just, in his offense and defense, slacked.
But maybe the team knew it and they were okay with it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe the team is so dependent on a Roman Anthony that they don't.
That was different from your argument. Your argument, I thought, was that he's hiding it from them.
Yeah, that could be. That could be too. And they're just like, whatever. As long he'll come around eventually. He's our player. We gave him this contract. He sticks in the majors regardless. I mean, the Red Sox are not going to send Roman Anthony to the minors. Come on, dude.
No.
Let's be honest.
No.
So he is going, he in his mind wants to stay on the field, right? So maybe he is hurt.
Well, that would be bad.
Well, I hope he's not hurt. I mean, granted, I don't want the Red Sox to win, but I love the player.
Yeah, he's a good player. I mean, I think that listen, there's going to be a massive labor dislocation, after the season, and I don't know what it's going to be. I honestly feel like whatever they're doing to limit things, like the Dodgers shouldn't be able to do what they're doing, or should they? I mean, it's a full free market economy. If they want to spend all that money, some say let them do it.
Yeah, what scares me about that, Brian, and I also want to bring up the contract thing too, part of this real quick, is how deep it can go, right? Because if you fight someone like the Dodgers and these guys like dig their heels in, it's just and the players union, we see how this happens. Like this can get bad, right? I saw replacement players in my lifetime, and I saw how brutal that was for Major League Baseball. And then what happened after that, Brian? Major League Baseball sunk to the biggest lows they could possibly do to bring the sport back. I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I remember. I mean, I know. I feel like the system, it doesn't work.
They have to fix it, but what scares me is it's so out of control. It's like, how do you fix it? How do you tell a team like the Dodgers, who are so I'll say over their head, like in general, right? They can probably afford it, but if you take a team like that who's so over their head for the next 20 years. How do you say, like, fix it now in relevance to what all the other teams are doing?
So, which brings me to a question that I think a lot of listeners would want to sort of fodder over. Is it which more concerning, a team at the bottom which doesn't really try and can lose 100 games and still make profits? I can still profit for their ownership, even if nobody goes. Is that a less or bigger problem than the Dodgers, who don't care about how much they're paying in taxes right now, right? They don't care if you're going to charge them an extra $75 million because they're winning World Series, and that's going to go in the history books, and if someday no one's going to care. Or maybe they're waiting for the next ownership group to assume the liability because they won't be there. I don't know. But to me, both are. I talk about politics on my morning show on WTIC News Talk 1080 about both sides. Both extremes are bad. The extreme left is bad. The extreme right is bad. There's no one worse than the other. And so my point is, I don't know if the bottom is any better than the Dodgers. At least the Dodgers are trying to win.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think that if they're gonna focus on anything, I think they need to focus on the floor, not the ceiling. Because I think the ceiling is so out of control, you're not going to rein it in. It's like bringing guns off the street. It's not going to happen. You got to look at these teams who, like you said, are pulling in all this money because they're all making money.
All of them, right?
And
when they say, when someone says, we're losing money, I learned this from the Steinbrenner phase. They're 99.99% of the time, they're just saying they're making less than they did the year before.
That's all it is.
They're still making money.
Right.
They just might have made less than the previous year.
So wake up these teams who aren't spending the money and put a floor in that they have to spend, and at least we can start moving in a direction where it be competitive. And then you're going to get the teams like the Pittsburgh Pirates, who are and these other teams that are doling out these younger contracts. You might see more of that influence, hoping that 3 or 4 or 5 of these players really hit, and then you keep these core players in, and you put people in the stands. I'm tired of looking at these games on a nice day on the weekend, and it's literally like right in the first inning, and there's nobody in the stands at Cincinnati.
Right.
It's freaking ghost town.
And you can't, like, if Cincinnati truly was the example, then they'd have no excuse because, when I was little, the Red Sox really didn't draw until the Bruins and Celtics seasons were over. Even if the Red Sox were good, they'd draw $22,000 until late May when the other seasons were done. But in Cincinnati, there's no excuse. I mean, I just think that I'm not going to get too into the economics because the higher the salaries, the higher they need to charge. The high, and then eventually, the truth is, like, that's why we sing the praises of like minor league baseball, because it's a lot easier to spend $25 and 10 on a beer than 75 and 15 on a beer. And I mean, to me, like, I'm in a different stage of my baseball life. I really enjoy going to the park. My wife keeps score. It's fun. I catch a buzz. I eat peanuts, and I love the fact that I can throw them on the ground. You know what I mean? Like, I just enjoy it. But like, am I burning up to go 20 times and be so laser focused on the baseball? No. And part of the reason is is the cost.
Yeah, you can't let the cost get out of control. I mean, that's something that is.
But it's
it's already out of control. It already is out of control. But what you can do is you can look at these teams that are hopefully that aren't making the big money, I say in quotations, and they're spending money on these young players, and hopefully it generates excitement. Look at all the excitement that's in Pittsburgh right now with just that Connor Griffin signing. And that dude ain't doing anything really.
Right.
He's just showing up to the game and people are coming to see him.
Well, my point ultimately, what I was trying to say is that if the Dodgers are far and away the best team, and then everyone else is like pretty close, I think it could make once school's out for a fun summer, and some of these stadiums might get some people. I mean, I really think, I'm not saying parity has arrived, and there's some bad teams out there, and maybe they haven't separated themselves to the downside. But when I see like certain teams doing a little bit better, I'm like, okay, the Marlins aren't going to lose 100 games. You know, who knows? I mean, look at the Rockies aren't the worst team in baseball. They're not good, but they're not the worst team in baseball. And so I like parity would be a good thing in my opinion. That's
it could set up for great baseball. Series would matter, right? If the series are mattered, then the fans will show up.
Anything else with John Senecal, Brian Shackman? This is episode 235 of Fanbase, a deep dive into the greatest rivalry in sports. Anything else you're picking up on early in the season, whether they're a player or players, team or teams that have got your attention?
No, I mean, I'll say it again. The Pirates are the team to watch, I think, this year. I really do. I mean, I think the excitement's there. The money, they have money. They'll go out and spend it.
Where'd they find them at? When all of a sudden they get money?
They always had the money. We've said this before. They all got the money. And I think if, these teams finally decide to spend some money on a contract pitcher, and if they dole out a contract sometime in season for Paul Skeens, there's even more excitement about it, right? And it just generates more excitement for the team. So we'll see on that. Again, ABS system's a huge success so far. I think it's interesting. I really like seeing how some of these pitches are razor thin, because even when you watch it live with the K zone and all that, you don't realize how actual close some of those pitches are until you see it on the ABS, which is amazing.
Yeah, and back to with the Pirates, Ben Cherington. I went to college with him. I was his RA his sophomore year. And we were friendly. He's from New Hampshire. He played hockey and baseball, but he only played hockey for like a month and then stopped. And when he was with the Red Sox, I tried to foster a relationship, and I got through secondary channels that he was a little dismissive because he thought I was just trying to cozy up to him to get info, which is pretty true.
Yeah.
But he was I had a chip on my shoulder with him, so I don't cheer for the Pirates.
Yeah.
He didn't. I wasn't like being brutal about it. I was a journalist, and he did not treat me particularly well. So I don't want them to win.
Time will tell, and we'll see what happens, right?
But obviously, he's got to be a decent GM. So, I mean,
he's stuck around, right?
He's developing talent. He's got that team better than they were 2 years ago or what have you. I mean, listen, they load up. They got, O'Neal Cruz, and they got the couple young kids. But, I mean, they'll have a window. And then if they add to it and maybe make a run, that Central is like anybody
can win it.
It's unbelievable.
And right now, it looks like anyone can win the AL East.
I love it. I mean, I'm not a Yankee hater per se. I don't love the Yankees, and I think it's good when they're good, and I don't want them to be too good. So I thought for sure they were going to run away with the division. I really thought that them losing 5 in a row, was not on my bingo card. Any last thoughts before we say goodbye?
No, the Yankees play Boston starting next week, so
they got a great. Did you see the hockey shirts they're giving away on like the 19th?
The Yankees?
Yeah.
I thought they're giving away on the 17th. I saw
17th, yeah.
Friday night against the KC.
18,000 of them.
Yeah. They're going to be a hot commodity. I feel like these giveaways now are you really can't get them unless you get there early, and I'm not standing in no line, dude. I can't do it too early.
I know, but they're so nice. I mean, like I can't, even if they're not that nice, it's a hockey jersey.
I know.
It's not like a T-shirt or a basketball
I agree 100%.
jersey.
My kids and I talked about this. Like even my oldest, who's at Fairfield, he was like thinking about maybe I should go down there, and I was like, if you have the time, and you want to stand in line, do it.
Say you spend $40, $50 to get into the game, and you get the shirt, you get to go to a game, and you get the sweet. I mean, I'm sorry, like the Yankees colors too. I like them, but it's a cool looking shirt.
Yeah. Yep. We'll see how it is.
They're definitely going to get $18K on that Friday. That's for sure.
No doubt.
He's John Senecal. I'm Brian Shackman. You've been listening to Fanbase, a deep dive into the greatest rivalry in sports.